Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Wargame. Today I have for you a rather interesting gameplay that was sent in by Spatsnaz 2010. Normally, on Paddy Field, a map like this, you get pretty much bogged down in Bravo. This is where all the infantry goes to die, and if they don't get to Bravo, then you're going to be fighting over this forest. You're going to be having a bit of a standoff here on the left in Gulf, potentially see some activity here on the edge of Foxtrot. Maybe the eventual rush or the eventual push around here, trying to come down the road, or potentially helo rush all the way around Foxtrot and come into the side of Echo. Not so much with Spatsnaz 2010, that's not what he has in mind. Spatsnaz is going to be trying a good old tank rush. So what you're seeing here is a whole bunch of Leopard 1A4s, provided with a little bit of spotting capability from, of course, the Leopard Recon, the Dutch Leopard verkenning tanks, as well as a BO-105CB for recon further. And in case you need a slightly bigger gun than what the Leopard is fielding, we have the Leopard 2A5 there. This one is capable of dealing with pretty much any sort of tank that it's going to be up against. AA is going to be provided by a Gepard and a Roland, and his plan is to drive right around through Gulf, capturing this as quickly as possible, and then, well, we'll see where we can take it from there. The rest of his team is going to be helping on the left. We have Jorge over here with the real Carragut. On the right flank, the real Carragut is going to be, I think, deploying a slight recon team, maybe something like that. And he's also going to be heading up, I think, a push into this sector. But the spotlight here is on Spatsnaz. His deployment... The one thing I would change here, I'd put them on the road. Putting them in the field like this is going to take you a little bit more time to get them moving, because off-roading for vehicles like these is always worse than on-road maneuvering. So make sure you put them on the road, and with that you're going to be slightly more effective. Anyway, let's kick it off, get it started. And as you have probably already seen, the gameplay only lasts for 12 minutes. This is going to be interesting. Anyway, our armored column is starting to move up. Let's turn this into a pretty picture. There we go. Now, the Leopard 1, in case you're not entirely familiar with it, what we're looking at here is the Leopard 1A4. It has pretty good accuracy for a 40-point tank. Armor at 8 points is not great. AP power at 12 is not great, but all around, the stats on this thing are pretty good. I mean, it's a 40-point vehicle, I wouldn't really be expecting miracles from this thing. But for a 40-point tank, yeah, you can work with them. Anyway, we have spotted quite a large column coming down this middle road. A couple of tanks, a bunch of transports. Some of these transports are apparently getting cold feet and clogging up the whole line. There's the AA. Nighthawk flies over. Not really the right place for a Nighthawk. I'm not even sure where the bomb hit. I'm not seeing any explosions just yet. Here, I think? Yeah, this is probably it. Anyway, they didn't get him any kills. But what we do have eyes on are two T-80 UMs. So Koke over here was definitely gearing up for an assault over the open fields. Not really expecting to encounter this many tanks. I mean, the 2A5 is the biggest threat here. And aside from that, the Leopard 1A4s are mostly a meat shield and just absorbing enemy fire, and they're doing a good job at that. But they're not just a meat shield. They are also quite capable of dealing with units such as the Wilk, especially if they are able to overwhelm it, dealing with infantry, taking down anti-air, and all of a sudden, this push from Red 4, most of these units are no longer there. There goes the 120 pointer, that's the Wilk. 2x T-80U, this one is already outdated. 40 units of infantry out there in the field. Not really anywhere they can go though. And for some reason or another, this aircraft tried to throw napalm down at the tank. I'm not really sure what happened there. The Leopard 2A5 is stunned. I imagine the crew compartment might be getting a little warm. But other than that, they're shaken and they're just getting ready to fight again. At this point, artillery starts to rain down on their previous position, not where they're currently at. I think their helo... Yeah, their helo retreated slightly due to all that anti-air and was forced to back off a little bit. Now this is not the only thing that's going on. I'm going to pause it for a moment. Over on the right we also have an engagement. I found this to be particularly unusual. A group of 40 Spetsnaz grew. I'm not really sure why you'd want to have that many recon units over here. And it's not just that, we also have some vehicles coming down the road here, Scrajets, which means that there is further infantry there. As Scrajets, as I believe, are not viable transports for the Spetsnaz over there. Anyway, this is causing these units to have to retreat, and with that he's also bringing in reinforcements with another player, constant bombardment. But let's quickly switch back to the left, because this is where the real action happens. The infantry gets detected, even the Gepard is now pitching in to deal with them, and there's all the infantry dead. Now, yes, to be sure, he has lost quite a few of these tanks. Not nearly as many as I would have thought, though. Let's see, I don't really see too many wrecks of the Leopard 1A4s. I'm going to be showing you the losses screen afterwards, of course. Anyway, Leopard 1A4 also has the added advantage of having very good autonomy for a tank at 600 kilometers. This is, of course, the Leopard 1V. These are the 1A4s. They also come with 600 capability or 600 kilometers autonomy. Now, instead of taking the direct route and going right up this hill and having a fairly good chance of getting ambushed, they're actually maneuvering away from this position. Now, one thing that I unfortunately was not able to capture this time, is that it? No, that's the T-80. The Leopard 2A5 died, and this is our culprit right here. ZTZ-85-2A. This one was able to get a flank shot into the Leopard 2A5 and killed it off. So what he has left at the moment is just a whole bunch of Leopard 1s of different varieties, the 1A4 and the 1V. Again, escorted by the reconnaissance Leopard, reconnaissance aircraft, and what is left of their AA, which is a Flak Panzer Gepard, which is starting to run out of anti-air ammunition. In the meanwhile, we already have a helicopter flank coming in from Kaiser Miemhelm. Interesting nickname at that. He's able to push through quite effectively, neutralizing Echo, so they can no longer bring in reinforcements. Interestingly, the real Karragut has a helicopter CV, which he's already sending out towards Echo. If this one goes down, then they still have 2 CVs left. There's a Command Leopard, and over here I saw, 151A1CP. Still, they need to get this under control. In the meanwhile, Red 4 also has their own issues coming up at the command zone, because this armored column is not stopping. And by coming into the cap zone from this angle, you're also immediately intercepting any reinforcements that might spawn, of course. So as they're pushing through, there is not really that much stopping them. Anything that spawns in gets immediately dealt with. And there we go. The Mi-28 would have been a good answer to a large tank offensive. Lots of missiles on that one. Very accurate. So is the Gepard. The Gepard, if you spawn something right over it, is quite accurate. So very quickly the Mi-28 goes down. Now at this point, back at base, they say that they need AA first. We have Commandosi in there, but they did recapture the zone. And they can then again bring in reinforcements. Red 4 is in a far worse state, because while helicopters and infantry are okay to deal with, a whole tank force like this, much less so. So they've already captured 2 of the FOBs. There's the third one, and that should last them quite a while, with about 48,000 supplies there. Leopards are taking on fuel and repairs as needed. There's the command vehicle. Very easily detected, of course, by the recon helo over here. Got him. And that is pretty much it. I was very surprised that this worked, actually. Normally, tactics like these simply don't really work. you're not quite able to push through, or you're not really seeing forces like these come up to Gulf. Normally it's a bunch of infantry capturing here, it's a bunch of ATGMs trying to help out, maybe a couple of super heavies. Not so much a force of Leopard 1A4s or similar version that are able to just keep going and going and going and then run into the side of your main capture zone. And especially with a 4v4, which was supposed to run for an hour, these guys were able to very quickly push through, and instead of having to go through most of the infantry of the enemy deck in Bravo or Gulf, they were able to finish this game off in little under 12 minutes. Now I'm going to skip to the end here, because really it's just a mobbing up round at this point. A couple of players already surrendered. A couple of final kills. 2 command vehicles left, Hotel and Alpha. There's the command in Hotel, and that is when they surrender. So, Spetsnaz, 2010. Kills, 1930 points. Losses, 330. Let's see what he killed. Leopard 2A5 got a Super Heavy, got a BMPT. Again, this is something that could have been dealt with by the Leopards if they'd gotten closer. There was even an ASU 85, which is interesting. And then there was the T-72 M2 Wilk. Look at the kill list for the 1A4s. This is driven by Commander Falkenbach. I don't mean literal rank, but tank commander. Topaz, a couple of AA guns, not so much infantry, so the other tanks took out the infantry. The Leopard 1V went to town on all the enemy artillery. A couple of Acacias down there, even a T-34, and I saw a couple of those. There's the other Acacia. More T-34 84s. There is, sorry, T-34 85s. There are all the Picota Zmek that we saw being offloaded in that sector where all the tanks immediately showed up at the start of the game. Of course, there goes the command infantry. The Flak Panzer was able to take out a few aerial targets and definitely get its money worth. I mean, 2 Mi-28s, that's 260 points right there. Then a pretty cheap aircraft and an Mi-8 TV. Nothing really too special. I wonder what happened. Yeah, the FRP Roland 3 was able to take out 1 aircraft and then get killed off. Leopard Recon able to take out another BMPT, as well as a bunch of T-34s and infantry. And finally, the last Leopard. I'm not sure if he came in last, but he barely got any kills. Still, keep in mind, this is a 40-point tank. He took out a 100-point command vehicle. And with that, he already made 2.5 times his own money's worth. Now, losses, not too much. The biggest loss that he took was the Leopard 2A5, which got killed off by that ZTZ. And apparently Tian was able to also kill off the FRP Roland 3, again coming into the side, and surprising both the Roland and the Leopard. Aside from that, they only lost one Leopard 1A4, thanks to the Mi-28, and one Jaguar was able to take out another one of his Gepards, and that's it. That's all that he lost. Anyway, let me know what you think of this gameplay so far. It's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind, because it shakes things up a little bit. It's not the whole standard take up positions, dig in, and hope for the best situation. This guy just pushed through in a destruction match at that, so points definitely do matter. And he just kept going, and was pretty much unopposed all the way until the capture zone. Hope you enjoyed that. Let it be a good start of the week, and if you have any good replays to send in, be sure to do so through the description down below. Also, as a final note, I now have a Reddit. Not my idea, but one of the subscribers came up with that. Link to that is also in the description down below if you want to link up on the Reddit, and if you have any good ideas for specific content, or if you have any particular questions, you can also do that through the Reddit nowadays, as I'll also be reading that one. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week, and I'll see you soon for more videos.